Hello, this is a quick video, semi-quick, we'll see, video on programming in R and using a scatterplot and a model to get some numerical inferences. I just realized my video will be in your way, so I'm going to drag this maybe up here. Okay, so I am going to pull data that is from this GitHub account. And the one that I'm going to pull is this TIL shelters data. And I've got the date, I've got program type, which is all the transitional independent living, vacancies per day, beds per day, percent vacant per day, year, month, and day, which sometimes is useful if I wanted to go by month, and percent occupied per day, which is just 100 minus the percent vacant per day. And these data came from the runway and homeless youth daily census. And so it came from here. I pulled it back on September 15th of 2025. So that's what the data is I'm using. And so I'm going to start by coming over here and importing the data set. So I count to 5, it shows up, it looks pretty good. I hit import and it looks just like I wanted it to look, so I can still see the same columns I had a second ago. All right, so I loaded my data. When I'm doing this inference and the scatter plots, I need to make sure that I've got 2 numerical columns that I can graph against each other. And so the first part of data checking is pick 2 columns with numbers. So my favorites, maybe I want vacancies per day and percent vacant per day. So those will be my 2. So I want to know TIL shelters, $, vacancies per day. I want to make sure that that format works nicely. So I'm going to skim it. And if I look down here, it's numeric. And I've got like a min of 33. I've got a max of 162. So I've got like nice numbers. If you ran that and it gave you some issues, so a quick little package check. Do you have tidyverse? And do you have skimmer? And so those should be here under your packages. You should have tidyverse. Right down here, I've got tidyverse over here. It's got a checkbox. And then the other one is skimmer. And so make sure you have a checkbox. So if it's not working, make sure you have those packages. Okay, so that was my first column. And my second column that I cared about was percent vacant per day. And when I skim that, this is again, it's a number. I've got a minimum of 6.68 and a maximum of 32%, 33%. And so I've got 2 columns and they are both numbers. So I'm good. Check. Done. So next, graph. I like to see the scatter plot. Like, what am I dealing with? And so I'm going to use ggplot. So package check again. I did it with 3 hashtags last time. Package check. ggplot2. Make sure you have that. And I'm going to pick my till shelters. And I'm going to put that into ggplot. And my x coordinate is going to be vacancies per day, because I wrote that one first up top. And my y coordinate is going to be percent vacant per day. And then the thing I'm going to plot is a scatter plot. So that's G on point. And when I run it, I get this lovely scatter plot over here. And so from here, I can read it. So like when this is 80 vacancies per day, that's going to give me a percent vacant of between 15 and 20, so maybe 17% vacant, right? Ish, because it's a plot. Okay. I can do the same thing for like 60. If vacancies per day is 60, I would predict it to be like right around here, which is maybe 12% vacant. maybe. And so I can use that scatter plot to make a prediction. I can click on zoom to make it a little bit bigger. And so I was just saying like 80 comes up here to be at about 17 and a half. And then 60 is going to be like maybe 12 or 13. And so I can like eyeball it, but I don't want to eyeball it. I'd rather have the computer do it for me. But I have a picture. And my x-axis was vacancies and my y-axis is percent vacant per day. So I'm paying attention. So once I have this graphed, done, I'm going to build a model. Package check. This one is the modelr package. Modelr. So make sure you have modelr. I am going to make a model for my transitional independent living. I'm going to call it the transitional independent living model, so TIL model. And it's what I get when I take my TIL shelters and I'm going to push it into an LN. That's an L for logical model. And the first one's going to be my y-axis. So if I bring my plot back up, I can see that my y-axis was the percent vacant per day. And then the tilde key is in the top left corner of your keyboard. So if you look at your keyboard, in the top left corner is the tilde. And then the x-axis comes next, which is vacancies. Here we go. And then comma, dot. That dot tells it to take the data from the thing that I sent it to. So in my case, TIL shelters. And then I hit run. And now on my right, under my computer memory, I now have a TIL model list of 12. So I have built a model. Yay! Model exists. All right, use the model. In order to use the model, I have to have numbers I care about. And so my favorite values will be vacancies per day, which I said 80 and 60 earlier. I could just do all of the 20s, like 40, 60, 80, 100. Like I'm just like, look at your x-axis and look at your numbers and find numbers that you find interesting. And so I'm going to do those. Okay, so these are missing vacancies because these are missing data points I don't have or favorite. And then vacancies to remind me that it's on the x-axis. Okay, this is going to become a data frame. And I have to type it in, the vacancies per day, it has to match exactly. And so I can start typing, but it's not going to pop up. Or I can delete it and come up above. Like here, I already have it saying vacancies per day. I can copy that. Oop, not that far. Control C to copy or Command V if you're on a Mac. Vacancies per day equals C. So this is a collection of numbers. What did I say before? 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, and 160. And then I'm scrolling down just to make sure that this parenthesis closed. I can see the gray and the gray so that my parentheses matched. And now I can run it. And then it should show up on my right with a little blue triangle. There we go. Those are my missing values. And when I click on the name, I can see that it's called vacancies per day. And it should match down here, vacancies per day. And then I have 7 values that start at 40 and then go down to 160. They don't have to be in that nice pattern. If I really wanted to, I can add another one after my 160. Like, I don't know, maybe I want 93. Like I can toss a 93 in there, like whatever number you want, you can put it in. Try to stick between my spread of my range of my data. Like I'm between 40 and 160 on my x-axis. It will be confused if I say, and now talk to me about 250. That's like beyond my scope of my data. I don't trust that. But these I think I should be fine with. All right, I'm going to run this again because I added 93. And so now I can see in the top right, I've got 8 observations. Okay, so now I've got them chosen. I'm going to put them into the model that I built. And so I'm going to call them inferred percents, because that's what I've got on my y-axis are percentages, and they're inferred from my model. And so this is going to be what I get when I take my missing vacancies and I put them into the add predictions. And the add predictions is needed, that modelr package that you used before. You need that. Okay, so add predictions, and we're going to use that TIL model. And then I'm going to run it here just to make sure that it worked. And I can see that it came over here inferred percents. I have a vacancies per day column, and I have a prediction column. And so it eyeballed, like, remember when I was down here and I said 60 looks like 12 or 13? 60 is 13.2. So like, that's pretty good. But I don't like that the column name is pred. I'd rather it be percent vacant per day so that it matches my y-axis. So now to rename. Over here, I'm going to take that for percents. I'm going to add an extra step where we're going to rename and do the same trick as before. I copied it. And so coming up, my percent vacant per day. Copy that so I get the exact same name. And then come down, do that, equals, and then the column I'm renaming is PRED. And so PRED. And it's trying to prompt me to say, are you sure you don't want this? And I do not want that. I just want it to be. And so now when I run and I go back to my inferred prediction or inferred percents, I've got vacancies per day and a percent vacant per day. And so it's named nicely. So I've done my numerical inferences. Use model, done. But I'd rather see it on my picture because I like seeing pictures. And so we're going to graph again. So my last graph is here. Copy. Copy that. Come down to graph again. Paste. And so this is my old graph. I should hit run and it looks like nothing happens because I already have a plot. But now, plus, I'm going to do G on point again. But this time, I'm going to use a different data set. My data set is going to be the inferred ones. And so if I typed inferred, it pops up with percents. So I hit tab. And then I'm going to run it. Just make sure it's not mad at me yet. And I can see if I squint, like there's some extra like little dots maybe, but they're really hard to see. And so I need to change something. I'm going to do color equals turquoise. There, I spelled it right because it changed color. And now I hit run. And now I can see my little turquoise dots. Or maybe I would rather they were red. And run. Yeah, I don't know which one's easier to see. But like I can see them on my dots and I can see that they match my line. And so I can see where my numerical inferences went when we graphed them. And so that's my predictions. All right, awesome.